What's going on, fellow YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? Welcome to another faction focus, and this is part of the There Is Only Warhammer series, where I go over the updates that are coming out from GW, from the Warhammer community website. And here we are, Warhammer community, as you can see. Faction focus, Orks, my friends, Orks. As you can see there, Faction Focus returns today, accompanied by a copious amount of shouting, dakka and smoke, as Reese gives us the lowdown on Orks. Waaaaagh! Are you ready to stomp and smash, crump and loot? Well then, here we go. Okay, Orks are a tremendously fun faction to love in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. They bring a slight sense of levity to the grim darkness of the endless war with their insane enthusiasm for battle and ability to thrive in a galaxy most factions are simply struggling to survive in, and all the while they remain ferociously menacing. Orks have had their ups and downs on the tabletop over the years. They've often been seen as the army that was fun to play, but that perhaps did not win too many games. Their most recent iteration in the current version of Warhammer 40,000 gives them quite a few tools and fun themed army build options, but they have some weaknesses that can be difficult to overcome. Having nearly no invulnerable saves throughout their army, but needing to get into melee to do the majority of their damage means they are at a massive disadvantage against armies of high durability. Units with lots of characters from different factions, all providing bonuses to each other, because cause the most problems and can leave Orks to be overwhelmed in close combat where they're meant to shine. As an Orc player, I certainly know the pain all too well. Yeah, and I think Orks have had a bit of a rough deal personally, especially in 7th. They're too comedic for me, and they're like, yeah, fun to play, but it's a little too much. I don't know, it's just, yeah, if I want to lose, I'll play Orks. They shouldn't be that way. They should be feared, like Tyranids are. You know. And they're going down the same road as well in 7th. So it's just a good job that we can sort this out. Well, let's hope. In the new edition of Warhammer 40,000, this changes. All I can say is praise be to Gork, or maybe Mork. One of the biggest changes for Orks is the way the new AP system impacts both their offense and defense. Units like Meganobs, who have a 2+ save and now 3 wounds, will find themselves being able to soak hits from things that used to kill them in one shot and keep on killing thanks to the save they now get. A las cannon, for example, doesn't bypass their armor entirely, and they have decent odds of surviving even if they fail their save. But what about the basic grunt in the Orc army, you may be asking? What about the boys? You so rarely see Orc boys on the table these days, and an Orc knob often swinging last in combat with nothing but a lowly 6+ save to protect him was not exactly a feared opponent in a challenge. Boys will get their save against most light weapons now, as a 6+ is not ignored by so many weapons as it once was. Also, there are no more challenges in melee. A knob will no longer be forced to focus all his attention on smashing just one foe. Excitingly, it won't always be a no-brainer choice to take a power claw either. The big chopper is now quite an appealing choice thanks to a more scalable AP system, and the combi scorcher is positively mean. Okay, here in this profile table, I'm afraid I can't zoom in on that, but it says weapon. It's a weapons table. It's got a big chopper, range melee, type melee, strength +2, AP -1, damage 2. Abilities, well, I guess you'll have to read that. Chopper, melee, range, type melee, strength user, AP 0, damage 1. And abilities, each time the bearer fights, it can make 1 additional attack with this weapon. Morale is not nearly as problematic for Orks as it was either. The boys have multiple layers of morale defense built into their army. The best way to mitigate it is by having a war boss with within 3 inches of a unit of Orks. He can simply knock a few of them senseless, D3 to be exact, to keep the rest of the boys in line and in the fight. Knobs squads also help to keep Orks from legging it by rolling a D6 for a nearby Orc that tries to flee, and on the result of a 6 they do not. These are all in addition to the mob rule, which allows a unit of orcs to use a leadership value equal to their unit size or the leadership value of a nearby orc unit. These are great for keeping big mobs of boys in the fight. But that's not all, folks. Well, hang on a minute. Before we go on, I would say that's not that great, to be honest. I still think that's a bit of a poor show. I don't think that's really that much of a big deal, and I think it's like they're trying to gloss over some stuff here, but let's not, until we've read all of it. But that's not all, folks. Orcs you will find are all about layering bonuses onto the boys for force multiplications. I've listed a few of them so far, but there are many more. A pain boy gives nearby orc infantry and biker units a 6+ save against wounds suffered, big deal. A big mech with a custom force field gives nearby orc units 5+, still big deal. Invulnerable save against shooting attacks, and by the way, you can take both of these saves. There are many more bonuses available to you depending on how you build your army, but my favourite is the War Boss's Waaaaagh ability, which allows friendly orc units within 6 inches to charge even if they advanced. Combine this with the Here We Go special rule that allows orcs to reroll failed charge rolls, and holy smokes, you've got a fighting force to be feared. Remains to be seen. There's so much more to discuss, but alas, I'm running out of space. Orc players should be pumped, and so much of that classic melee mob orky playstyle now pays off. Blow the dust off your killer cans and gorkanauts and get ready for a waggly good time. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. One last little tidbit though before I go. The Orc Weird Boy is a fantastic choice in the new edition, and one of his powers, Da Jump, is particularly awesome. It allows an Orc infantry unit within 6 inches of the Weird Boy to be teleported to any point more than 9 inches away from enemy units on the battlefield. And remember, no more scattering. That's pretty cool. This makes for quite the nasty surprise when a mob of 30 Orc boys appears behind enemy lines. There you have it, folks. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not that enamoured about it overall, though. I don't think they're getting that much of a buff, to be truthful. Not when you compare it to the buffs that other factions are getting. If you could see me on screen, I'd be holding my left hand up to about mouth level. This is where they are. Then I'd hold my right hand up to eye level. So this is where everybody else is in comparison to Orcs. And all they've done is, and I'll be moving both hands up at the same time, same amount of space, done this. Everybody's buffed a little bit more, but the gap still remains the same, I fear. I may be wrong. I hope I am, and time will tell, nothing more. That's all that will actually be for sure on that one. I have no way of telling. But there you go, folks. That is Orcs faction focus. Make of it what you will. Remember, all rushes lead to war. I will see you on the next video, and bye for now.